February 1959. 9 hikers entered a mountain in Russia. None of them came back. When rescuers found their camp weeks later, the tent had been cut open from the inside. What happened that night has never been solved. January 1959. The Soviet Union. A group of 10 young, skilled hikers set off into the northern Ural Mountains, led by Igor Dyatlov, experienced, trusted, respected. 9 students, athletes, survivors, each one trained for extreme cold. Their destination, a remote peak called Ortorten, a name that roughly translates to, "Don't go there." At first, the expedition went exactly as planned. They photographed the journey, wrote in their journals, battled the snow. They were in control. Then, on the night of February 1st, they made camp on the slope of a mountain called Kolatsiakl, a name that means Mountain of the Dead. That was the last night any of them were seen alive. Weeks passed. No contact, no signal. A search team was sent in. What they found made no sense. The tent was half buried in snow, collapsed, silent. But it hadn't caved in from the outside. It had been cut open from the inside. And inside the tent, everything was still there. Boots, coats, food, supplies, all of it left behind. Outside, investigators found 9 sets of footprints leading away from the tent. Some barefoot, some in only socks. No signs of panic, no chaos, just a slow, deliberate walk into the darkness. The first 2 bodies were found near a forest edge, barefoot, dressed only in underwear. Their hands burned, as if they had tried to build a fire until the cold took them anyway. 3 more were found deeper in, positioned as if they had turned around and tried to crawl back to the tent. They didn't make it. The final 4 weren't found until spring, buried under 4 meters of snow in a ravine. And what investigators saw stopped them cold. 1 hiker, fractured skull. Another, ribs crushed on both sides. The force of the injuries was compared to a high-speed car crash, but there were no external wounds, no bruising, no weapon, no attacker. The damage came entirely from within. And then, the detail that changes everything. One of the women was found, missing her tongue, her eyes gone, part of her face removed. No footprints around the bodies, no evidence of anyone else being there. Just silence, just cold, just questions. Investigators have never agreed on a cause. An avalanche? The slope wasn't steep enough. The footprints remained intact. Soviet military testing? Classified experiments were active in that exact region. Some of the hikers' clothing tested positive for radiation. Infrasound? Low-frequency waves known to cause panic, hallucinations, and irrational behavior. And then, multiple witnesses reported strange glowing lights in the sky above the pass that same night. The Soviet government sealed the case for over 30 years. When a government buries a file that long, it usually means something. In 2019, Russia reopened the case. Their official conclusion, a natural avalanche. Most experts rejected it immediately, because avalanches don't remove tongues, they don't crush ribs with no external marks, and they don't make 9 trained mountaineers abandon their boots at midnight and walk calmly into a blizzard. 9 hikers, 1 mountain, 1 night, and 66 years later, not a single answer. Some say, if you listen closely to the winds of the Ural Mountains, you can still hear them, calling out from the darkness. Some places are better left unexplored. Subscribe for more stories that should never have happened.